Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. Welcome to Camp Quarantine. We have a very special episode on tap for you this evening. We are in a brand new month, our 8th month of the show. Today marks our 30th episode. We are doing recaps from our previous 3 full seasons, talking about the election slightly, Masters, the Indian holiday Diwali, and so much more. It's all happening right now on the 30th episode of Camp Quarantine Live. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. I am your host, Amrit B with Hustle and Hospitality. For those of you that are just joining us for your first time, welcome to Camp Quarantine. This is our 30th episode. We are bring you live entertainment here, live, absolutely live. You can touch us, you can interact with us. We want to have you do that. We're looking for interaction from all of our guests. We want to know where you are watching from. But again, my name is Amrit B with Hustle and Hospitality, and I could not be more stoked to be here today because today happens to be our third season conclusion, our third season finale, which means it is our 30th episode. Wow. We have been to so many different places across the globe. We have a slew of all new guests coming up next season. But today we thought we would take an opportunity to recap where we've been a little bit and talk certainly about, well, some of the wonderful things going on, not only in the news, but the great things people in the community are doing for you. Let's take a look back at some of the things that we've already seen right now. It's Friday. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. You guys have made it. Another wonderful week. Welcome to Camp Quarantine. Welcome to our backyard. Welcome to Camp Quarantine. I'm your host, Amrit B. Appreciate it. It is May. Folks, we have lasted into 3 months. Friday, June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. Cannot say how thrilled I am to have you all here. We have an exciting slate of guests. We just wrapped on our 14th episode of Camp Quarantine. Really appreciate all those who have tuned in. Today is July the 3rd. That just blows my mind. We just cannot contain my excitement here. We have made it. So hopefully you guys are finding the good in this entire situation, and that's certainly what we're trying to bring forth here. So today is Friday, November 13th, and we want to know where you're watching from. We'd even love to bring you on live. So if you guys are watching from home, wherever you may be, we invite you into our home here at our Hustle and Hospitality Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, as you may have seen from our previous scenes there in the recap, we have been all over. The last season of Camp Quarantine, we have been to Scottsdale, Arizona. We have been to Arlington, Texas, and of course here in Atlanta, Georgia. And last week we took off because we were out in Las Vegas following our last episode, October 30th. So we took a week off for the election. So thank you all so much for joining us here again this week for our season 3 finale. But we want to know where you're watching from. A little bit about Camp Quarantine is we feature guests doing amazing things from all over the globe. We feature folks from Australia in the past, Ireland, across the United States, and certainly here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have some ties in Los Angeles, and we appreciate Hustle and Hospitality extending their Rolodex, so we hope you'll join us this and every Friday going forward, continuing to showcase the healthcare heroes, small business spotlights, and of course, the real reason we're doing this is to raise money for organizations and charities. Well, let's look back. Some of the organizations that we have featured in the past and supported in raising money. Last month being October, we supported the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. We have also assisted with Charity Miles, the Center for Disaster Philanthropy, Color of Change, as well as Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Metro Atlanta, as well as America. So today, being November, we have an all-new organization that we are supporting, and we will continue to do so the month of November, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But let's recap the news. Well, what happened this past week? Are you kidding me? The election is finally over. We don't like to talk politics here, but we want to congratulate President-elect Joe Biden and thank all of those out there who voted. We have had voter drives. We have encouraged people to vote. We have been doing a number of things kind of surrounding the election, but not directly. So we appreciate all of those who have stuck with us. But what's been going on? I think what's kind of funny is President Trump has not, I guess, conceded the election, which is perfectly okay. But a lot of folks are making fun and making light of the situation. And I think that there's no better way to do that than bringing back our week 1 guest, Miss Beth Trifon, and take a look at her YouTube channel and her latest in a tough week. Beth?
Oh, are you okay? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Why do you ask? No reason. You know, it's just a normal Tuesday. Yeah, normal. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine. Go f*** yourself, you piece of shit! Oh my God. Sorry. Je vais bien. Je vais bien. Oh. Je vais très bien. Hi, are you fine? Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Are you fine? Yeah, but are you really fine? Yes, why would I not be fine? I'm totally fine. I'm not fine. Okay, I'm not fine. I knew it! I knew it. Everything's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Well, of course you aren't. This place is a flaming shithole. Can somebody please hug me? I'm not fine.
No, it's still quarantine.
Ugh. Okay, it's okay. Why don't you come inside now? We don't need to scare the neighbors. Ah. Oh, ooh la la.
Too funny. That was posted last week by Beth Trefon, one of our guests on a previous show here on Camp Quarantine. If you're interested in taking a look at all of our guests, we encourage you to give us a follow on campquarantine.co on our Instagram, as well as taking a look at our Patreon, where we feature all of our van builds, and we could get to that in just a little bit. But what else can we talk about the election? Well, not only is it concluded, but a lot of folks are also poking some fun in other ways. So while Beth is creating on YouTube, I think what's imperative is everybody is staying creative during this time. A group out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm a little tongue-tied today, forgive me. But Junk Miles and Chip and Jeff run a podcast, and there's something in Philadelphia called the Broad Street 10K. Well, later this month, one thing they decided to create was a little fun called the Fraud Street Run. If you have not heard about the Fraud Street Run, it takes place from the Four Seasons Total Landscaping all the way to the Four Seasons Hotel. It's a little longer than a standard 10K, but if you're interested in that, come on. You don't understand the comedy in the Four Seasons Total Landscaping? You got to go back and look at it. Basically, what happened was President Trump, his team of folks, essentially booked a Four Seasons to hold a press conference, but without looking fully at the name, they wound up between an adult store and a crematorium, and that's Four Seasons Total Landscaping. So running a 10K is just another creative way to kind of poke fun at that and make light in this situation. But, well, the word got out real quick, as things do online, and in this virtual space, well, they had to create a virtual run because there was too much interest with social distancing in effect. Now it's a virtual run. So if you want to run a 10K and you want to participate in the Fraud Street Run, just Google that. We encourage you to take a look over there. Well, I'm rocking a hat over here today because November is an interesting month. Normally, yes, it is the start of fall. 2 weeks ago, we fell back. I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween. We chatted with you all just before last Friday, the Friday before Halloween, in which we encouraged all of you to be safe. So we hope you did that. But the cases are on the rise. So COVID cases are on the rise. So everyone here in quarantine, I feel like we're going to see a phase 2 of it, whether you believe it or not, whether you're interested in the vaccines and all these news things coming out, we try and steer clear of that. So while we're raising money for charity, we are also featuring wonderful people, and we'll continue to do so this Friday and every Friday going forward. So we are booked for a 4th season, and we will continue this show, and we appreciate all of y'all's support going forward. Well, November normally isn't a time in which the biggest golf tournament is held just a few miles up the road east, about 80 miles east of here in Atlanta, in Augusta, Georgia. It is absolutely perfect weather. There's a little bit of fall going on, but hence my Masters cap. Right now, Dustin Johnson's is in the lead. And you know, if you are Camp Quarantine fans, that we are golf fans here too. So we want to know, who do you think is going to win the Masters? But because the Masters is in November, normally it's in April, things are a little bit different. Sure, there's fall leaves on the course. There are absolutely no fans allowed, but we invite you to take a look at this year's unique 2020 Masters.
From the Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia, welcome to the Masters.
Hello, friends, and welcome to a tradition unlike any other, the Masters, presented by CBS. This is a very different and unique Masters since it's the first ever fall edition. As our friend Sir Nick Faldo would say to Patrick Reed, welcome to the new age, to the new age. You know who else might be feeling radioactive is meathead Bryson DeChambeau, who will attempt to bring Augusta National to its knees by overpowering the golf course. But I have a feeling that Augusta National will be bringing Bryson DeChambeau to his knees at the end of the week. As the leaves change from summer to fall down Magnolia Lane, the roars of Augusta will be brought to a whisper, since patrons will not be allowed on the grounds. But there are two silver linings. First, the tournament is being played, and second, Eldrick Tiger Woods is still your defending Masters champion. The GOAT of golf, aka Tiger, will be fending off a multitude of fierce competitors this week. Will Brooks Koepka be able to stay healthy enough? Or is he cursed like a white middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys? I'm not sure what was longer, Jon Rahm's backswing or his stint at world number 1, but he will be a competitor this week. Will Rory McIlroy wear a hoodie? And there's Jordan Spieth, who seems more desperate to find a fairway than a drunk middle-aged man trying to find a hooker in Vegas. And I hope that Scotty Scheffler can avoid the pine straw this week, since he's more likely to break an ankle with that action than KJ is jumping out of a tree. Though it will be a different tournament this fall, we will once again get a glimpse of heaven on earth that is Augusta National. For all my colleagues here at 3 Under Par, we hope you enjoy the coverage and welcome to the 84th fall edition of The Masters.
We appreciate 3 Under Par for putting that together. A wonderful parody. If you've never watched The Masters, I encourage you to do so. It comes over the air tomorrow. There was a little bit of a rain delay here in Atlanta, in Georgia. It's in Augusta, but close enough. On Thursday for the opening round. So many of the players have left off and had to play weird, 27 hole round days rather than 18, things like that. So stuff's a little adjusting, but hey, it's 2020. What else did you expect? So I encourage you to watch that tomorrow on CBS. They'll have the Saturday and Sunday rounds. But we have featured a lot of golf on our channel. August happened to be National Golf Month, and we had a wonderful guest on our show, Mr. Tyson Ortiz. He was getting so many compliments on our show, we figured, hey, why not bring him back? Little Tyson had some great tips on some golf outings. And without further ado, we would love to revisit our August guest, Tyson Ortiz.
Hi, my name is Tyson Ortiz.
Where are you from?
I'm from Oceanside, California.
How old are you?
I'm 7 years old.
What are your favorite sports to play?
My favorite sports to play are soccer, baseball, basketball, and golf.
What's your favorite part about golf?
My favorite part about golf is hitting the ball.
And what's the best part of your golf game?
My best part of the golf game is hitting the ball. Now I'm going to show you how to hit a golf ball. So you set it up, line it up, keep your arm straight and keep your eye on the ball. Then you swing back and then forward. That's how you hit a golf ball. Happy Golf Month.
And that's how you hit a golf ball. Come on, that's the cutest thing ever. We want to see your golf videos. We want to see your attempts out on the links, whether you've got some comedy, some unique talents, some skills, send them our way. We absolutely would love to feature it in a future episode. And ways that you can do that is just by visiting campquarantine.co or our Patreon and contacting us in that manner at patreon.com/campq. So hopefully you all are watching the Masters, and we threw up a little bit of a trivia over here. Today we would love to know, what is 2 under par called? We'll say 1 under is a birdie, 1 over is a bogey. What would 2 under par be called? Comment below whether you're watching today, whether you're watching in the future, whether you're watching it later, or whether you're watching it live. It's okay. We love that participation. So we encourage you to comment below, but also help us out. Hit the share button. Like what's going on. Let us know, because we've got great giveaways coming up this Friday, as well as moving forward again on our Instagram and live here. So while we're talking about golf, and this being Masters weekend, another wonderful thing is going on all across the world. We talk about the pandemic being something that's so global. The election we mentioned just briefly certainly has implications here in the United States, where we are now, but it does also have a bigger global impact. Well, one thing I'd love to introduce you all to is tomorrow happens to be the Festival of Lights. And to tell you a little bit more about that, in the Hindu, Buddhist, and across all of Southeast Asia, the festival of Diwali is being celebrated. Now, what might Diwali be? Well, great question. We'd love to share with you. So we hope you learned a little bit about Diwali. It is the Festival of Lights and such a wonderful celebration. Normally, in India, all across the globe, and all across the globe, even including here in Atlanta, there are usually celebrations and fireworks, and it's all about bringing out the darkness with light. So I hope you and your family, whether you're celebrating or not, have a wonderful and safe and prosperous Diwali. It's all about also bringing good luck and good fortune and cleanliness. So on this weekend happens to be also National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day. So start with the refrigerator perhaps this weekend, but if you're cleaning all the other elements of your house, you can welcome in the goddess Lakshmi and all these wonderful good fortune and wealth and prosperity into you and your family's homes. Normally, Hindus will exchange some sweets, as you just saw over there. I will be going and visiting my parents and doing a little prayer ceremony. So I encourage you, if you have any Hindus, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists in your life, just reach out and say, Happy Diwali, and it will mean so much. A lot of the culture in the United States has come to embrace many other religions. So do the same as the United States of America becomes more united and attempts to do that. I think part of that also comes with appropriating and understanding and indulging in other cultures. So even if you aren't Hindu or Jain or Sikh or Buddhist, I encourage you, feel free to go to your local Indian restaurant, pick up some sweets, mithais, and just embrace that culture. So for those out there, just a happy and wonderful Diwali to all those celebrating with you and your loved ones. So Diwali may be happening this weekend, but today, Friday the 13th, oh my gosh, it happens to be Friday the 13th. This is the second Friday the 13th in the year 2020. Who knows what may happen, but you can take control of just that, because today not only is Friday the 13th, it also happens to be World Kindness Day. Well, random acts of kindness are what we're all about here on Camp Quarantine, and we've showcased many of them, but we thought we would feature some that folks have sent in. So we put a compilation together of some random acts of kindness, and we hope you will celebrate today, World Kindness Day, by embracing it in your own capacity.
After losing my daughter this past week, that was just, it just touched me, because it was like she was there, you know, and it's just meant a ton to me.
Catterson's 16-year-old daughter, who lived with his ex-wife in California, struggled with her mental health and recently passed away unexpectedly. For Catterson, it's a hug that lasted just a few seconds, but a moment that he'll never let go of.
You know, that might have been her just looking out for me at the time, and that those words just mean something. Made me think, like, wow, maybe she's there.
How you doing, ma'am? Where are you trying to get to? You want to ride? Come on. You're very welcome. It's my daughter's birthday. Oh, really? I want to gift her. Oh, you're welcome. Hey, come here. I'll give you my credit card. Go get her a birthday cake with a number 1 candle.
Let's see if they got any in there.
Okay. Oh, your baby just turned 1 today? Boy or girl? Yeah. Actually, we got a little surprise. So just give me a second. Say hi. Hi, how are you? Can I give you a hug? Hi, how are you? Oh, big hugs. Hi, Dior. Is your birthday? Yes. So cute. Hi. How are y'all doing today? Whoa. See, Mom doesn't do that. Oh. There we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ron. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, you got one more. Great.
We can inspire more kindness in this world. It is just that simple. Kindness is not an act, it's a lifestyle. So today, on World Kindness Day, we encourage you to do something wonderful for somebody else for no other reason but just to be kind. It is that simple. So much about Camp Quarantine has been, yes, showcasing the good going on in the world right now. As COVID cases soar, as people spend more time at home, we are losing that interaction. But kindness doesn't have to be something that always occurs face-to-face or hand-to-hand, as shown in that video. So we want to hear the ways that you are embracing World Kindness Day. So drop us a comment below. What are some ways that you guys can celebrate World Kindness Day? Well, as you're thinking about that and commenting, we figured we'd share a little bit about a young man who is doing just that and doing everything in his possible power to spread some kindness during this time. And, oh yeah, it also happens to have a camping thematic too.
He said, Max, you've got to promise me that you've got to have lots of adventures and lots of great memories in it. I thought that this would be a good way to help them and support them. $12 in the morning. I'm freezing cold. My money kept just going up and up and up. It's been one of the best times for me.
Yeah, we talk about during this crisis globally, be kind, be compassionate, and here's a 10-year-old absolutely personifying that.
So though today was kind of more of a recap episode and our finale for season 3, we wanted to embrace all of those things. Max Woosie right there, who raised over 10 grand for the hospice fund. He's going to be in season 4. So hope you guys will be joining us back here in the future on an upcoming Friday. You will be able to chat with Max live, ask him questions, and be able to talk more about his philanthropy. This month happens to be November, but our philanthropy, our nonprofit that we've chosen to partner with is to Save a Bro with a Mo. And by that, I mean our chosen charity for this month of November. We are raising money and encouraging folks to donate to the Movember organization. As you can see here, I have not shaved yet the month of November, but a little bit more about Movember beyond just not shaving. You can donate, certainly. We encourage you to do that at us.movember.com or globally at just movember.com. But we wanted to bring a little bit more awareness and to talk to what the Movember organization does, and certainly how this entire month you can participate in our folks from the Movember. So this is coming in pretty good, I would say. We're going to cut this towards the end of the month, and we are continuing to raise money. I have a campaign personally for Camp Quarantine on Movember's organization's page. I've done this now for 8 or 9 years running. As you know, I'm also growing my hair out because November is all about giving. Of course, November 26th happens to be Thanksgiving, in which we are very grateful and appreciative, and we'll get more into that in the upcoming weeks. But if you have anything you can give back, we really appreciate it. And if you are able to grow your hair, whether it be No Shave November, however it is, whatever your organization may be, we are raising money specifically for the Movember organization this month. And again, we'll be alluding to that and bringing guests on the rest of this month. So we hope you will stay with us, and we encourage you to do so. But again, we'll be alluding to the Movember organization, and you can learn more about it and donate directly at Movember.com. Well, it is November. And although this year may not be quite as standard or typical as normal years just due to the pandemic, one thing's for sure, and people are doing a lot more online shopping. What are some online things that are going on for the Christmas season for kids out there? Well, yesterday, or actually today, last night at midnight, whatever you want to call it, a brand new toy emerged. Do you know what that is? Well, the PlayStation 5 came out, along with Xbox is releasing a new thing, but we thought, hey, if we're doing a recap episode, how can we draw back in and talk a little bit about the PlayStation 5, which is absolutely sold out everywhere. People are charging way more than you need to. So if you haven't already pre-ordered it, good luck finding it. But we have a wonderful guest on week 1, our first episode, our very first episode, who believed in Camp Quarantine, and a very close friend of mine that I'd like to allude to because, well, you'll see in this clip how he alludes to a little bit of a PlayStation. So without further ado, I'd like to invite a very funny guy, stand-up comedian from Los Angeles, Mr. Neil Nanda.
I didn't like having immigrant parents. Did anyone else have immigrant parents growing up? No? All beautiful white people in here? What's going on? These 50 Shades of White. What a polite dude, right? Are you Indian? Yeah, you did? That's why you politely, I'm engineering school. Or what was it? Yes, I'm just trying to get my mechanics degree. I don't know. Were your parents like really strict on education when you were a kid? Like straight, like compared you to like everybody else, right? They're like, Romin's going to Harvard. And you're like, I'm 10. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the problem is. Romin is 8. Okay. No, my dad would have a saying every time I got a report card. My dad would always say, B is for bad. Yeah, he'd say, B is for bad, and C is for you cannot live here anymore. Okay, you have to get that. D deported. We're going back. Okay. All right. F, find a new family. You're not my son. I don't know you. You are no longer my son. I don't know you. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like having immigrant parents. They wouldn't even let me do cool stuff. Like, when I was 13, I wanted to get a skateboard for my 13th birthday. And I asked my dad for a skateboard. I'll never forget what he said. I was like, hey, Dad, can I get a skateboard for my 13th birthday? My dad looked at me and he goes, you want a skateboard? You want a skateboard? You want a skateboard? Okay, how about this, okay? How about you get straight A's for the rest of your life, okay? Okay? And then you don't get a skateboard, okay? It's a good deal. You don't have a choice. It's a good deal. Yeah. He didn't get me a skateboard, but for some cruel reason, he got me rollerblades. Yeah. It was like my dad was trying to be like, okay, you want a skateboard? You want a skateboard? Okay, how about this, okay? How about everybody thinks you're gay, okay? How's that? Happy birthday, you're gay now, okay? I'm not saying that if you rollerbladed, you were gay because I rollerbladed, but that is what the skateboarders would call me. And they had skateboards so they could hit me with a skateboard. Yeah, my only move was stop it. My only move. I had a different childhood though. Like my dad wouldn't even let me. I don't know if this happened with you too. Did your dad let you have cash on you when you were a kid? Yes, you were allowed to have like rupees or dollars. Like what? Here's some Gandhi money. You were born here. I was born here too. My parents never let me have cash. You had a privileged ass immigrant family. God damn, dude. You must have had straight A's, man. Shit. I don't know. But my dad wouldn't let me have cash on me. Like, one time I would get, like, birthday money, and my dad would even take my birthday money from me. And one year I asked for the money back. I was like, hey, Dad, can I get that money back? I want to save up for a PlayStation. My dad looked at me, and he goes, PlayStation? You want a PlayStation? Okay, how about this, okay? How about you go to your room, and that's your PlayStation?
Too funny. Thank you again to Neil Nanda for letting us use that clip. Again, it's about the PlayStation. See, there's some relevance here. We're also recapping. If you want to see more comedy, Neil playing on the piano in our first episode, our very first episode of Camp Quarantine. You're watching this maybe on YouTube now. You're watching this on Facebook. Just go back, click below, and take a look. But you can also find links to all of our shows at campquarantine.co. At campquarantine.co on Instagram and on our Patreon at patreon.com/campq. And we appreciate all of those who are supporting creators like me, Neil, and so many others that we featured here today and on all the previous 30 episodes of Camp Quarantine. We hope there's 30 more. So thanks again for joining us today. For those of you who don't know, we are raising money every episode of Camp Quarantine for wonderful different organizations. If you have a nonprofit that you'd like to feature on our show, shoot us a message, pr@campquarantine.co. But this month, we are raising money for men's health awareness and the Movember campaign. And we hope that you will continue to donate a little bit more here about the Movember movement. So November is all about Movember and men's health. So we encourage you to join the movement, whether you've already pledged and are growing a beard, facial hair, whatever it may be, or however you are participating. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you watching and supporting us here at Camp Quarantine as well. Well, for those of you who don't know, back in August, so a few months back, we purchased a brand new Sprinter van that we have been actively converting to a camper. Now, last week, we had the wonderful opportunity to take her out in the wild on our maiden voyage, and we're going to share that with you in just a little bit. But so much of our show is centered on the outdoors, even though we may not be there today because we're doing a recap episode. We are always on the move and on the go and always showcasing new spots and new places to be able to go explore. Even though we're here in the Southeast, as I mentioned earlier in today's show, we have been to Scottsdale Live, we have been to Arlington, we've done our show from many different places. Last week, we were out west once again, and we're privileged to visit a new area. Well, we want to encourage you to visit new areas, whether it be this weekend or in the future or weeks ahead, whatever it may be, before it gets too cold wherever you are. So here to talk a little bit more about some unique fall camping, we invite a brand new travel expert to the show.
According to the North American Camping Report, camping is the new way to vacation during the pandemic. And with fall in full swing, we're looking at unique places to camp this season.
It's easy to social distance when you stay in a tent, cabin, or casita with quick access to outdoor adventure.
We spoke to Jennifer Broom, a travel expert who shares 3 unique places to stay this fall across America. First, we're headed to Canyon of the Ancients Guest Ranch near Cortez, Colorado.
The working ranch has 6 luxurious vacation rentals, all decked out in chic Western decor.
The ranch is family friendly and even allows you to interact with the farm animals. It's near the Four Corners region, making it a great place to see some fall colors and learn about the area's rich history.
The guest ranch borders Canyons of the Ancients National Monument,
a National Historic Site where you can hike and explore thousands of years of ancient ruins. Next, Base Camp Terlingua in Terlingua, Texas.
It's a dusty West Texas desert town where folks go to get off the grid.
Base Camp Terlingua is open for fall reservations. You can stay in a bubble dome, teepee tent, or 100-year-old casitas. Things to do in the town:
do the self-guided walking tour to see some of its historic buildings. Don't miss its unique cemetery.
It's also near Big Bend National Park, so take your hiking shoes.
Summer days easily exceed 100 degrees, so that makes fall and winter a great time to visit.
Our last place to visit: Under Canvas Great Smoky Mountains in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
You get to stay in safari-like tents. Some of the tents even have their own private bathrooms and decks.
Jennifer recommends to dress in layers as the nights can get a little cold.
You can still see some fall colors well into November.
There's also nearby attractions that larger families might be interested in seeing.
Experience a mountain farm museum and a historic mill. It's like walking back in time.
Unique places to camp across America.
So we want to know where you're going. Where do you like to camp during the fall? Certainly there's beautiful fall colors changing all over the Southeast and the Northeast. So share with us your pictures. Send them to our Instagram at campquarantine.co, and we will be happy to feature you on a future episode. But without further ado, we figured we'd talk about where we've been, and brings us to my favorite segment called The State of Nirvana. So Nirvana is our baby, and if you have not had an opportunity to meet her, we were privileged to take her on our maiden voyage. As you can see here, Miss Nirvana has had so much work done that we have put laborious hours into perfecting, primarily on the exterior, but we are now working on the interior. You can see here, we took her to Chattanooga, Tennessee, just about a 3-hour drive north of Atlanta, Georgia, and we showcased that with you last week. But here you can see the front dash of our beautiful van, our backup camera installed over there, certainly fall colors and keeping the thematic, but it's always wonderful when you get an opportunity to get dirt on those tires. Our all-terrain tires had the privilege of going abound and visiting some otherwise passable places thanks to her wonderful shoes. So we were really thrilled that this week, our 30th, we'd be able to share with you some of the features that we have newly added to the van. We went to some wonderful views over here. We were at the state park there in Tennessee, but we want to talk a little bit about some of these add-ons that we have created. Now, these are pieces that we were not paid for at all, but have worked quite well. This is a foldable solar array. So basically, if you need power, right now we are still waiting on some solar components to come for our main 1,000-watt setup that we will put on the roof of the van. However, plugging that into this portable power source right here, this is a 300-watt power source. All you do is lay out that solar array. Because it's winter or fall winter time, you have to angle it a little bit different because the sun doesn't get as high in the sky. But about 6 hours later, between let's say 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. are the peak hours to get that solar array set up. I can charge this bad boy completely. And then we had the projector out there. We were watching some football out there on the screen on the side of the van. It was pretty incredible. This little baby is a must-have if you're out there camping. You can't plug in things such as an induction top or anything really high power, but it's a pure sine wave inverter, which means plugging in your laptop, maybe a TV, being able to plug in all your phones and things like that are certainly very capable. And then we're off the grid. We were completely boondocking. And we want to show a little bit about how we were in that the views that we saw with our fall lead. We encourage you to go with us on a little journey here through the state park in Tennessee. You can see some of the beautiful fall colors. We attached our GoPro camera to the side of Miss Nirvana and just watched the leaves fall and fall off of the van. So we have plenty more of this full-length video you can watch in our last week's episode 29, on our YouTube page. And if you're watching here on Facebook, you can click below. Some muddy puddles over there you can see. It was a lot of fun to finally take her off the road and, like I said, get some dirt on those shoes. So this little time lapse is available on our YouTube page, and we encourage you to watch the entirety of it. But we hope you're out there also camping and enjoying the fall colors. Now, November isn't only about men's health. We mentioned this Sunday happens to be National Philanthropy Day, National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day, but November is also about gratitude, our military members, as well as Family Stories Month. What better way to celebrate Family Stories Month than creating new memories, perhaps telling those stories around a campfire out in the wilderness? So we want to see those videos. We want to see those pictures. We want to know where you're visiting and share with us those fall scenery with Camp Quarantine here. We will show them the rest of the month of November. And if you guys have any hints or tips or must-have gadgets like the power source we just shared, we want to learn about them too, because this community is very much a family, and we want to share and have a safe time while out in the woods and camping as well. So thank you all for keeping up with the state of Nirvana. And for those of you who haven't had an opportunity to keep tabs on our full little build out, here's a quick 60 seconds on what we've been up to. So even though we have a nice van with plenty of space to put in our tents, our friends, our little dog, Rascal, who many of you all have seen and know real well here on Camp Quarantine, not all of the adventures have to occur in a real sexy vehicle or van that is quite so large. I mentioned last week we were off because we happened to go and travel out west. We actually explored in a very different vehicle that we rented. Thanks to a little bit of hustle and hospitality and kindness, we got an upgrade to this bad boy out in Las Vegas where we landed. So we took her to the Arizona border and the Hoover Dam. If you have not been there, there are some beautiful colors, some beautiful sights. And if you're able to go visit some of the national parks, that's great. But if you have any vehicle, just go spend time in the outdoors. And that's so much what Camp Quarantine is about. It being November, share family stories. We want to create those memories for life here with you. So do share with us all those pictures, all those gadgets, all those memories, those campfire stories, and we would love to feature you. One last time, if you guys would like to contribute to the show, beyond the show, hit us up on our Instagram at campquarantine.co, or you can contribute and donate to our van build and continue to see wonderful programming like this into our 4th season beginning next Friday and continuing on. Who knows, maybe we'll be here for 30 more episodes. Maybe not in quarantine, hopefully, but we're still figuring that out. Well, this is coming up on the end of our show, guys, so we really appreciate you joining us here today. Our next show will be Friday, November 20th, right back here at the same time. We are all new slate of guests in store for you. But today, rather than leaving you with some beautiful footage and van life that we're going to feature in the future. Can you say that 3 times fast? That's a little tough. But rather than showing all the van lifers that we're going to feature in the future, we thought because tomorrow is Diwali and we are celebrating a wonderful holiday, why not leave you with some comedy again? This is not our clip, but for those of you who certainly know this show from NBC, you'll recognize it immediately. But here's some humor we're going to leave you with from The Office with the Diwali song. Folks, we'll see you next Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, a happy and safe and prosperous Diwali. Catch us right back here with Hustle and Hospitality. Thank you so much for making 3 seasons of Camp Quarantine in the books a success. And be safe. Don't touch your face. Be kind to others on World Kindness Day. And we'll catch you back here for Camp Quarantine next Friday. Take care, y'all. Enjoy your Friday. Happy Friday the 13th. Be safe.
It's a tribute to one of the greats. The goddess of destruction, Kali, stopped by to celebrate Diwali. Don't invite any zombies to a celebration of Diwali. Along came Kali to have some fun at Diwali. If you're Indian and you love